Okay, this is really just like a little video diary of what it's like to walk around some parts of Whitby, so that if you're thinking of coming you'll get an idea. And while I'm tottering around today, I'm just going to film little bits of it. I mean, you can actually go on, Google Street Maps now, can't you? And do the tour. But there's some parts, obviously, Google Maps don't come around here. So you can see this is obviously the pier there on the west side. The east side is where the Abbey is, but it's very nice, and this is quite a lovely walk actually. It's heading down to Sand's End, and in a minute you'll see the beach huts, which, as per usual, tend to be all different colours. You can see them in the distance there, but it's a lovely walk. I mean, Sand's End, going down towards Staves and Brunswick Bay and Port Mulgrave and all that sort of thing, very nice. So there we go. Actually, Port Mulgrave, there's not a lot there, but it was well known in the past when it was known for alum, which I think they used for keeping dye in materials, and it was quite a big industrial site. But nice bit of cave there, look. There you go. And in the distance, actually, we'll try the zoom on this thing for a second, look. There we are. Hang on. You've got the old Whitby lifeboat. You can just about see it in the distance there. Anyway, we'll come back to the next clip in a short while. That's it for the moment. And here we are with now we've got, that's the old spa up on the top there, if you can see it. And by the way, the jogging of the camera is all intentional. I mean, let's face it, we're not doing a professional job here, are we? And this is your walking tour. In other words, yeah, I'm walking. But look, as you come around the corner, you can see the new spa, which is very nice inside actually. And in the distance, you'll see the Metropole, which is not a tourist attraction. It's really flats, but quite an imposing building. That gives you some perspective of where we've been. Very pretty, isn't it? And that's the new spa there. The old one, the old and the new. That's character, isn't it? Don't you find that always the older buildings have the character? And you think, well, when they build a new one, couldn't they build the same quality and character, Anyway, there you go. So we're actually coming around now, and there's a zigzaggy path, well, there's various ones which lead you up to the top of the west side, and that's where I'll be heading. And if you're wondering what I'm filming this on, I have got an HD camcorder, but it's not in total HD, it's in the next setting down, but it allows you to use the zoom in that setting, and it's on a Samsung Galaxy S2 phone. So, I think for YouTube it's going to be good. Let's try a little zoom in there, look. And that's the tourist ship that goes out from Whitby, and that's the Mary Ann Epworth old lifeboat that I think started sailing in 1932. Whew, God. Oh God, my legs are killing me. Here we go. You'd never believe that this video tour is unscripted, would you? Research has gone into it. Actually, that's the Metropole there, look. Very nice. Sand's End. So we're now at the top of where the West Cliff lift is, and very beautiful. But you'll see, coming up on the right, we're above the spars now, and oh god, it's over 20 years ago. I wanted to buy one of those houses in the Royal Crescent there. It's a bit like the Victorian architecture in Bath, isn't it? Beautiful. It's only half a semicircle. I think they ran out of cash. It was going to be a full circle, and the architect and the builders and whatever couldn't complete it. But it's called the Royal Crescent, even though it's a quarter of a circle, really. Here comes the Whitby tour bus, by the way. Actually, I've heard that's quite a good tour. I've never been on it, and who needs to when you've got this video tour? But in fact, who needs to come to Whitby when you watch this? I'm having a competition. How many people can watch it from beginning to end without falling asleep? Never mind, I'm enjoying it. But there we go. You see, the Royal Crescent's coming up now. You can see it's very nice. There was a little article in the Whitby Gazette, and it was arguing about the fact that they didn't like these camper vehicles parking overnight. And the local B&Bs were complaining, saying it was taking business away from, but the campers said they've paid for the vehicles, they can park where they want. And one guy said what the locals want is a barbed wire fence all around Whitby, and then tourists can come and throw the money over it and go back home. It's a bit cruel. I don't think they really think that. That's the Spa, look, from above. That's the new Spa and the old Victorian Spa in the distance. I'm getting a few strange looks. People think I've gone mad because I'm chatting to myself. Anyway, as we're coming down there, we'll be going past the Arnold Palmer putting green, and then we will have the wonderful view of the east side of Whitby. Oh, there we are, look, there's Elizabeth going past, the steam bus. It's a bit like deja vu. It gave me a wave last time when I did my last Whitby guide that started in Gothlands, actually. As I say, the link will be on this video. So, believe it or not, in 1989, one of these houses was up for sale for 88,000, and I was going for it, and I was gazumped, and the bank wouldn't give me any more money. I think it went to 100,000, but now you pay about 220,000 per floor, 4 flats, with own accommodation in the ground story. So, would have been a good investment. I'd have been a lot richer than I am. And the house I was looking at was the one with the plaque on that we're coming up to. And seemingly, I think Bram Stoker stayed there at some point, although I think he stayed in the hotel at the front, which I should know the name of, and I've forgotten. But he stayed there too, because he got the inspiration for Dracula whilst being in Whitby. I'm gonna just have a quick look at the house and see the plaque. Should be coming up. Oh, it's one of these near the front. There, I can see it now. Actually, there's a flat for sale there now, where I was looking at buying the entire building for 88,000, and now I'll be looking to get one flat for 200,000, even in these economic gloomy times in 2011. Here we go. Let's have a look at the plaque, then I'll click off and head round to the Captain Cook. That's nice how they've put the for sale board right in front of this plaque, isn't it, of Bram Stoker. There we go. Okay, see you to the jawbone, the whale's jawbone, and the Captain Cook Museum, Captain Cook statuette, not museum. That's on Grape Street, which has, have a guess why they call it Grape Street. I'll tell you later. Actually, that big hotel is called the Royal Hotel. There, look. And this is probably, well, not probably, actually the best view from Whitby. And there's people having a good go up at Captain Cook's statuette. You can see him. Usually has a pigeon on his head and pooing down his neck. Sorry about that. But look, we'll have a quick look at the statue in a minute, but look at that view, isn't it fantastic? Right up the Esk, so to speak. Hey, we've got Mary Ann Epworth doing a turn for us down in the harbour. There we go. This is the bit where I go over the cliff and you hear a scream, and that's the finale of the video. It's good, isn't it? There we go. I'm going to go down Flowergate in a bit, but we'll end up going on Church Street, which is the oldest part of Whitby, and it leads to the 199 steps we can see from here. Hello. This is the Khyber Pass, not the Carry On one, not the Khyber Pass, it's the Whitby one. That's one of the tourist ships there. But look, if you look in the distance there, can you see the Whitby Abbey, of course, and St Mary's Church, but the famous 199 steps. That actually over there, if you look at that observation area there, is where I shot some of my last film. You get seating, and it's just great for viewing, isn't it? And this is the famous jawbone there, which we'll go to have a look at in a second. There we go. Of course, Whitby was a whaling port, and that's where the name stems from. There is something about that whalebone being replaced, I think, in 1968, coming from Scandinavia. Let's go have a look at the statuette. Watch these people's faces, they think I'm potty, so I'm talking to my phone. At least I'm getting fitter. Here he is. There is a very good museum down on Grape Street, all dedicated to Captain Cook. There we go. And this is the jawbone where the lady's having a photograph taken, and the dog. Look at the dog posing. There's the, hang on, we'll get the Abbey and St Mary's right between the jawbone. There we are. Being the professional that I am, I suddenly realised that was one of the famous ships, the Resolution. Actually, you think the Endeavour would be on there. I've got a cottage called Endeavour Cottage in Whitby. www.endeavourcottage.co.uk, where I let my cottages and two other people's that are friends. So if you want to come and stay, please. You might as well advertise, haven't you? I wonder if I could start a living doing this. The Idiot's Guide to each, you know, tourist destination. It's a great graveyard, is that, actually, and you look, the goths love it. They have photo shoots up there on the gravestones. I've got some of those. I've changed my mind, I'm not going to go down Flowergate. I mean, I kind of like Flowergate because that's where my Endeavour Cottage is, but we won't do that one because it's, I mean, really, it's nice looking. It's got old buildings and shops, but I think down the Khyber and round the harbour and up the Church Street, past Captain Cook Museum, will be more interesting. This little tunnel gets a fantastic view. Michael Portillo on his great train journeys with the guy that does the ghost walks, Harry Pottle, I think they call him. You have to forgive me if I got his name wrong. But here we go. Whoa! Look at that. Whoa! Boat coming through a bridge there, look. You see it? Well, you can see it if you're watching. It's the 100th celebration of that bridge, which I've also got an article on about on the internet if you care to look, was a couple of years ago, and that bridge was made by the same company that made the Blackpool Tower around the same time, I think. There we go. A few people going past now, so what a chapter. Looks good, doesn't it? It broke down last year, did the bridge, for about, I think about 5 days, and they had to send abroad, somewhere like Germany, for mechanical parts, and people were having to go the long route round by the bus, or there were some boats ferrying people across for a few coins in the palm. Became a bit of an industry, I believe. Let's zoom back out. What I'll do, I'll walk up the passageway and round to the bit where you get the nice view. Let's face it, I cannot edit this out if it's not good enough. There we go. You do actually get probably the best view of Whitby from up here. The thing with Whitby is that when you're down on the main streets like Church Street or Flowergate, there's lots of little yards, and I read a book about the Whitby yards and how hard it was to live in them years ago, when people were fishermen and they had to have a community which all sort of basically lived in each other's houses. They all helped each other. It was very, very cold and very, very unpleasant. And those little yards like mine's called Haydock's Place, where Endeavour Cottages. They're very nice now, but in the years gone by, Frank Sutcliffe is the guy that is on Flowergate. He took all the photographs in the late 1900s, and he basically photographed Victorian tourists that were wealthy enough to be on holiday when the workers were poor and working 7 days a week. But when he wasn't earning his money doing that, he photographed the locals, and they're the ones that you see nowadays, all the local shots of the fishermen and, not the pond stub. There you go. You can see Elizabeth down there smoking, and the fishing trawler, which there isn't that many of now, unfortunately. There's so many restrictions now that it's not really a profitable business, I don't think. And they were saying that they needed help from Scarborough Council to keep the fishing fleet going. Not a great view though. Just at the moment there's a bit of an issue going on with the pier as well. They're going to demolish part of it. I think it's the wood sections, and they're saying they want some cash from Scarborough Council to help retain them, because they are, let's face it, very, very big tourist attraction. And that's where we're going. 199. Ooh, look at all the people going across the bridge now. I had to wait. Right, that's your fast route down there from Captain Cook's statuette. And as you come around the corner of the Khyber Pass, that restaurant's fantastic actually. You can dine in there and get wonderful views of the piers. Oops, better get off. Mobile CCTV. There we go. Round the bend and down the corner. See you in a moment. Okay. Actually, that's the circle, isn't it, from those little round buildings, by the way, they look like lookout posts, but they're actually for storing fuel for ships. But they have got little windows in them, so maybe they were also observation points. But it's a very, I think it's called the Battery, this area. And if you look, it's quite historic. There we are, you can see where we are now, okay. Going to go down past the fishing boats in a more. This is the main pier. Well, I presume it's the main pier in a way. It's got the big lighthouse on it, which you can go up if you wish. But
we've got your film coming.
That's where we walk down the beach. So we have done a circle of that area there. And we're coming round now. And we're gonna zoom down the front. Back at the bandstand now. Actually, that's the RNLI Whitby Museum there, which is interesting. There's a story about one of the lifeboats there a long time ago. There was a shipwreck in Robin Hood's Bay, and they had to physically carry the ship 3.5 miles, I think it is, down the coastline, demolish some walls going down Robin Hood's Bay, and that was all to get the ship there, to launch it, to save some people's lives. So it's quite a attempt. Ooh. Now then, I've purposely missed out the amusement arcades because I don't like those, but you know, they are part of Whitby. This is the Endeavour ship. That's it's not really a proper ship, that one actually. It's a tourist boat made to look like one of the old style ships, but it's not very stable. There is a boat called the Specksioneer, and last week me and Pauline went out on that, and it's probably the best trip we've ever been on. It was a 4-hour fishing trip where you could see whales, and the guy who runs it, very enthusiastic, you know, very excited. I mean, he's been a fisherman all his life, and he's still so full of excitement at seeing these whales and telling you about all the different types of fish you can see, and seals, all that kind of thing. That's the Magpie. I mean, actually, it's a good fish shop. Oh, big queues there. But I always think, why are they queuing? There's some other great fish and chip shops that don't cost quite as much. But there we go, it's popular. Egon Ronnie, I think, proved it, which is what probably did it, you know, its reputation a great deal of good. Anyway, we're now walking down the front. These are the old, well, they still use them, fishing landing points where they clean the fish up. In a moment we'll come round the corner, past the tea stand. There we go. Actually, we won't go that way because you get trapped in there, but you'll see the Whitby lifeboat in a minute. There's a cottage, and I'm trying to buy it at the moment, and if I do, it's going to be a holiday let. But what a beautiful cottage! It's right next to the lifeboat over there. There goes the boats. Whitby lifeboat there. I'll show you the cottage. Hang on. It's that one. It's the top. It's that cottage there. What a beautiful old cottage. We stayed in it. So I'm discussing business. I'm actually trying to set up, well, I have set up, I've just started a Whitby letting holiday company, but with a slight difference, that rather than some of the big boys, Oh, Dracula. I'm only going to have a small number of cottages, and that way I can look after them. You know, the people that own them will get good bookings, and the people that stay in them will get nice cottages. And it's going to be guess the name, Whitby Letting Company. It's already on the internet, but I won't go any more business. Right, oop, yeah, God. Now we're coming up to the bridge now, one of the famous attractions of Whitby. It's suffered some failings recently, but it's still working. And
You always seem to be empty them.
there's some great articles about when it was first opened, with photographs of all the old Victorians on there, you know. They had like a ribbon which to cut, and everybody walked across the bridge, and they replicated that 2 years ago when they had the centenary of the bridge. In the distance we've got the Whitby Gazette, and you know, if you're interested in the place, they always do articles of the past with old photographs. But you can't beat the Sutcliffe Gallery for that. They still have a lot of old photographs that they've never shown the public, seemingly. Here's the bridge. Way! I remember a long time ago, oh, it must be 15 years ago. Get seen that Elizabeth, didn't it? The bridge broke down, and the guy, I've got this picture of him, sat on the middle of the bridge trying to do something with a bar to free it because it was stuck. And that guy still works in the little office at the end there, where he sits in his armchair. He's got a good job, hasn't he? You know. There's the Whitby Gazette. There's we're going to hit Church Street next. Church Street is very nice. Just show you this as well. Hang on. There we go. Caught on film forever, this guy. Love a little street, isn't it? Let's go down here. Just show you that's Ellaby. Ellaby Lane. Very old cut. What it was, they used to cut down that lane, Ellaby Lane, from the White Horse and Griffin and the Black Horse pub, and that was a shortcut through to the harbour for the fishing guys. So it's quite an historic old lane, and this is the Market Square. Beach Cottage that I'm hoping to buy is down there. This is the square, look. I'll show you the pubs. That little shop has all old cars and toys. Here it is, this is the White Horse. No, it's the White Building, but called the Black Horse. Very historic old pub that. There's a little bar around the side there that years back you could used to get Yorkshire pudding and sausage, and it's the smallest bar you've ever been in. It's like a passageway at the back, you know. Full of character though. There's the White Horse. Good stabling, look. I do Whitby fans on Facebook. Hello Sheila. Sheila loves Whitby and she knows more about it than me. And she continually delights in showing me how much she knows and I don't. But if you want to join, they have a competition each week for Whitby fans who you guess the picture. It's a little bit of fun, isn't it?
I think we're only doing a fit out there, aren't we? The main contractors.
It's a beautiful old street. We've hit it at lunchtime. So, you see, that's a typical yard there called Lee's Yard. But there's one here which is very well known, called Arguments Yard. I think it's well known because of the name. There we go, Arguments Yard. The old chapel there. I can't resist this. It's a little bit of self-indulgence. But look, probably, unfortunately, by the time this video is out, I probably won't have got this cottage, but yeah, I've made an offer on it. Look at that. Beautiful, isn't it? Right by the beach. Maritimus, it's called. And down at the bottom here we've got that's a little holiday there as well. It's nice, isn't it? Get surrounded by sea at night time. But look, it's the Whitby Friendship Rowing Club. And then my beautiful cottage. Sorry I didn't get you. I hope I do. Okay. Woof. Out of breath again. Need to lose some weight. This is the Church Street Narrows Point. So this is probably the biggest jet shop in Whitby. We've got an enormous natural piece of jet in there. Biggest I've ever seen. That's the Jet Heritage Centre, which has some of the old you see, they used to Queen Victoria, when she was mourning Albert, you know, she wanted to wear jet because it was black, and it became very popular. It comes from the monkey puzzle tree, actually. It's the sediment that settled and got compressed, and it became this what's called jet. And I think there's only one other place in the world where you can get jet, apart from Whitby. It's a nice shot of St Mary's. There's the now we're on Henrietta Street. There we go. And that, I always like that. If you can see it. As you come up Henrietta Street, I should have gone to the gym and lost the weight before I did the film. This is called Fortunes, and it's the old building where they still do smoke the kippers. I don't mean to try and light them with a match. You know, they put them in a room with lots of fire. Let's have a quick look here. Oh, look. There we go. There you go. Smoking, look. Smoking. Two fat ladies came here, look. That's good, wasn't it? Fortunes. And they make one. You get a good view here. When I'm going to click off when I've got this view, because I'm going to head to the 199 steps and you can hear me gasp all the way up. There we go. Isn't that a great cottage? Private area to sit out. There we go. Just want to say that a few years back, before they built those cottages there, which are relatively new, this one stood by itself with that one. Look how it leans. That one's keeping it up. There we go. See, back of Fortunes there, look, smoking again. probably edit this out, but you never know, do you? Just thought we'd have one more quick look at Fortune Smoked Kippers. There you go. And back down Church Street, the opposite direction. That's called Tate Hill. They are actually new buildings now, but I've got a painting by a guy called Hutton. I've forgotten his first name, but he's quite a well-known artist, and he painted it. It's called Whitby. The one he painted it. It's called Whitby. The one I've got is called Whitby Gossett years ago, and I paid 350 quid for it. That's quite cheap because he's well-known. He had exhibitions in his early 20s. By the way, that little bit there, look. I think it's called because. Have a guess why? Yep. A lot of imagination goes on. This is probably the most famous part of Whitby in the way of the steps. Yeah. Here we go. No, I'm not gasping. There was some debate as to whether it's really 200. Something about stepping over the top, but I think the top one is the 199th. Or it is two at a time. 199 plus the top, and the top isn't a step. Jane Fonda, where are you? Feel the burn. Seats, look. Shall I? No. Come on, heart. Like Eric Markham said, keep going, you fool. Look at that view. St Mary's, Whitby Abbey, view, person gasping. Do you get a view from here though? There's Elizabeth in the distance going up the Khyber. Carrying up the Khyber. My cottage is about there on Flowergate. Actually, there's one I wanted to buy there, but I couldn't get it at the time. I couldn't get the money. Called the Old Bakehouse, because that's what it was. You know, when people didn't have ovens, you can't just see it. It's there somewhere, and that's what it was. The Old Bakehouse. You know, people. There's Whitby Lifeboat going out. St Mary's is great inside. On my other Whitby guide, I go around the inside. But the Abbey, I think that the Abbey is probably the biggest attraction. Come on the Whitby Goth Day, you get all these goths in very elaborate costumes of all ages, you know, not just young people. Although there's a lot of sort of attractive young women who dress up with tights on and things, and all these professional photographers are photographing them on a professional basis, of course. not on a Cosmo small piece basis. If you can remember Les, good old Les Dawson. Right, there we go. That's the Abbey. I've filmed that on the last tour, so I'm not going to go around that today. And the inside of St Mary's, I filmed that as well. I forgot to do Grape Street while we're down there where Captain Cook's museum is, so on the last little bit of the footage we'll go down Grape Street. And guess why it's called Grape Street? Grape, G-R-A-P-E. I'll tell you in the end. There's the grand view. Robin Hood's Bay that way, Staves and Sands End that way. Actually, but let's do it. That's the bell tower.
Good morning.
Morning. Kind of give me a bit of a look, did that lady? What's this guy with the phone doing? Chatting to himself. First sign of madness, talking to yourself. Oh, I think I've hit a dead end. No, I am. There we go. Wow, quite a pulpit. Okay. Yeah, I've started off at the square again because I thought we'd finish it with a quick walk around the square. Well, not finish it, we've still got Grey Plain, Captain Cook. Right, the reason why it's called Grey Plain is that a long time ago it was the place where ladies of the night spent their time, and there's the White Horse again, and it was really called Grope Lane, but I think somebody decided that maybe for a tourist destination Grope Lane wasn't quite appropriate as the bridge, so there we go, that's why. There's a little cafeteria that's actually on Google Maps. It's listed, which is surprising, and it's called Humble Pie, and it's sort of like the wartime decor, tin plates, pies. That's their advert. I've decided that when we've done Grey Plain, I will actually just pop up Flowergate because it is quite a nice part of Whitby. Here we go, we're going around the corner now. There's the Endeavour pub, named after my cottage. No, my cottage is named after the ship that Captain Cook sailed on. There we are, this is it, look, Grape Lane. Spelled correctly. 1688. Captain Cook Museum. Been in? It's good. Yeah. Don't you just love these little old streets? This is what makes Whitby, you know. So I think that is probably the Endeavour ship there. Yeah, look, HMR Bark Endeavour. That little cafeteria's changed hands, but it used to have all memorabilia from Heartbeat, you know. Been in Heartbeat as an extra, so there. I spent a day with Jeffrey Baines with my head stuck around his backside because I had to cower in the field and then run across it with him. This is the old bridge again. That in front of us when we crossed the bridge, you know, nearly seeing the underneath of that Mercedes there with me holding the camera. Could have checked his exhaust for rust. Just look at this little hut here where the guy sits. There's some pictures of it about 100 years ago. It looked just the same then. Same guy sat in it as well. That's Custom House there. Obviously something to do with, you know, custom charges on boats. Oh, it's not there. What a shame. Yeah. This leads you to Flowergate now. Quite a steep little hill. Luckily you can't see I'm trying to hold on to my jumper that's tied around my waist at the same time as talking and walking. Who said that men can't multitask? There we go. Oh. Now this is Sutcliffe's Gallery. Actually that guy there, Picturesque, is a very friendly photographer. There he is, Sutcliffe Gallery, with one of his descendants there. There we go. This is Flowergate. Up here on the right is the most important part of Whitby. Have a guess? Yeah, Endeavour Cottage. So if you want to stay for one night, 1 week, 1 month, Endeavour Cottage Co.uk. Actually, I'll finish on that, but if you take a quick look, you'll see that this yard is, I know it's a bit of an ad, okay, but it is, the reason I bought it is it's a beautiful yard. It's got so much character. There we go. It was a Reverend de Haydock who built 5 cottages and then died. And it's documented. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? Look at the old outhouses with the Belfast sinks in when they used to work Whitby Jet. It's nice though, isn't it? Well, that's more or less my tour. I might as well just give you a quick spin of the cottage, you know. There we go. Endeavour Cottage. Broadband, wireless, internet. Dum 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 dum. It's my little advert, isn't it? I suppose at the end, if you don't mind. Got a washing machine and a dishwasher. But actually, you know, it's the yard I think that makes this place. It's just such a lovely yard. Power shower. Whee! I do these prints myself, you know. I've got a 60-inch printer, and it's whitbyart.co.uk if you want a picture of Whitby. That's another little plug, you know. Let's have a look at the yard from up here. Oops, got the curtain stuck. You can tell it's not been rehearsed, can't you? There you go. Beautiful and quiet. Cul-de-sac. All you hear is seagulls. Memory foam mattresses. Anyway, look, I hope you've enjoyed the tour. So thank you very much. Bye bye from Alan Davidson and Endeavour Cottage. Bye.